Welcome to IT Handy Guide tutorial. My name is Kevin. In this tutorial, we are going to talk about the environment introduction regarding Apache, MySQL, and PHP. 1.1 is the reference. You can have a look if you like. 1.2, okay, let's talk about the PHP environment. So basically, in a PHP environment, we have a web server, we have a PHP, and we also have a database. So let's talk about the web server first. So what is the web server? Web server is a software that you can host your website. Internet Information Service is called IIS. Okay, IIS, Apache, and Nginx are very popular web server. ASP.NET MVC .NET Framework has to use IIS. PHP can use IIS or Apache or Nginx. Windows Server can run IIS or Apache or Nginx as a web server, but Linux Server can only run Apache, Nginx as a web server. So basically, IIS, you can only install IIS in Windows Server or Windows operation system. If you want to use Linux Server, then you won't be able to use the IIS. Okay, so Linux Server cannot run IIS. Linux Server is much cheaper than Windows Server, so PHP developers usually choose to use Linux-based server. In this case, PHP developers should learn how to use Apache or Nginx. Okay, so Windows operation system or Windows Server can run IIS, Apache, or Nginx, but Linux Server cannot run IIS. However, because Linux Server is cheaper, so PHP developers usually choose Linux Server. Therefore, PHP developers should also know how to use the Apache or Nginx. In summary, web server is a software that you can host your website. Web server is a software run by your web hosting provider, so the visitors can view the web pages on your site. These are popular web server. Many WordPress hosting providers use Apache or Nginx. Okay, so let's talk about the MariaDB and the MySQL. This is just a database. Database server is the place where you can store the database, and database is the place where you can store the data for your website. Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL, and MariaDB are very popular database server. ASP.NET MVC .NET Framework usually use Microsoft SQL Server. PHP usually use MySQL or MariaDB. MariaDB and MySQL are two of the most widely deployed open source relational database in the world. They share a common assignment tree and maintain compatibility via MySQL protocol. It means MySQL client can connect to MariaDB and vice versa. MariaDB and MySQL have evolved in their own ways, which is becoming separate database with unique features and different product visions. Organizations of all sizes continue to replace MySQL with MariaDB in order to take advantage of the innovation in MariaDB and get out from under Oracle. MariaDB meets the same standard enterprise requirements as the MySQL, often which additional features, compatibilities, and options. And by implementing the MySQL protocol and maintaining compatibility with common MySQL data type and the MySQL syntax, it's easy to migrate from MySQL to MariaDB without modifying applications or dropping requirements. Well, that is a lot of sentence, but in summary, you can think about this way. MySQL is under Oracle, So the reason to use MariaDB is to get out from under Oracle. So it is easy to migrate from MySQL to MariaDB without modifying applications or dropping requirement and vice versa. So this is just a summary, okay? The reason to use MariaDB is because MySQL is under Oracle, and we want to use MariaDB to replace MySQL is trying to get out from under Oracle. That's all. Okay, so let's talk about the PHP. Static website is a website that does not connect to any database. Dynamic website is the website that connects to the database. So we can use HTML5 and CSS3 to create a static website. PHP is a popular general-purpose scripting language that can connect the MySQL database and display the data on the dynamic website. So basically, PHP is to connect the database to the website. Okay, is the scripting language that will connect the database to the website. Okay, so the bundle tool. Bundle including the Apache, MySQL, and PHP. So this is a web server, and this is a database server, and this is the PHP scripting language. Okay, this is a scripting language. So there are several bundles, several popular bundles, and the first one is called XAMPP, and the MAMP, and this one is called local. So basically, XAMPP and the MAMP, they are actually Apache, MySQL, and PHP bundle. They're also including other things, but this one is actually including these three. So in the beginning, I mean, very long time ago, the first N means Mac. Okay, this X means Windows. However, today is 2022. Okay, 2022. So XAMPP and the MAMP, they are pretty much the same. They can install in a Windows or Mac. It doesn't really matter. Local is a special thing, not including these three, and also including the WordPress. So basically, it allows you to just a few clicks, and then you can install everything, including the WordPress. However, I personally don't like any kind of bundle. This is just my personal opinion. Okay, I personally don't like any kind of bundle. I like to install Apache, MySQL, and PHP individually. But I will introduce what's going on. It is quite difficult to install Apache, MySQL, PHP individually. So there are many bundle tools that can help you to install Apache, MySQL, PHP by clicking Next with default setting. Here are some popular bundle tools. So this is all the popular bundle tools. Okay, so the bundle tools of the Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Let's talk about the MAMP and XAMPP. MAMP is for Mac. Okay, first N is for Mac, and then the second A is called Apache or Nginx, and next one is called MySQL, and next one is PHP. So that is MAMP. Okay, MAMP. What is the XAMPP? This A means Apache. This M means MariaDB. Means P means PHP, and this P means Perl. But the truth is, this X means Windows. But they didn't write in the documentation, but we all know. Because in the beginning, MAMP is for Mac, XAMPP is for Windows. But nowadays, in 2022, both MAMP and XAMPP are available for Windows and Mac. So you don't really have to compare what's the difference. Well, in my tutorial, I will not talk about the MAMP, but I will talk about the XAMPP, okay? And bundle tool of the Apache, MySQL, PHP, XAMPP. So if you use the XAMPP, that is actually Apache, MariaDB, and PHP, and Perl. So MariaDB, you can think about this is other kind of MySQL. It doesn't really matter, okay? So if you click this in, you will find out this is the SAMP. Okay, and if you want to see the Chinese version, you will be able to see this. Okay, so with this one, I can see this is the SAMP for Windows 7429 8019 816. Okay, that is depending on the PHP version. Okay, so basically the latest version is this one, so you can download this one. All right, so here's the link. This one, this is the link. All right, so SAMP for Windows 8.4. Well, this is now Windows PHP. For PHP 8.1.6. Okay. All right. Not including this. So basically, you can click here. It will say, this including the Apache, this one, and that. Okay. So with this one, I just type in over here. So including the Apache, this version 2.453, and MariaDB and PHP. Okay. So if you click that, you will see Apache, MariaDB version 10, and PHP 8.1.6. Rest of things is not really important. Well, PHP MyAdmin, that is quite popular, so you also have to know this. And any of these, that is not really important. Okay. So what is the next? Okay, the configuration file of Apache, MySql, and PHP. If you install Apache, MySql, PHP, and PHP MyAdmin file SAMP, then here's the configuration file. Okay, so you will see all the configuration file is under XAMPP, this folder. So in the C drive, you will have one folder is called XAMPP. In the XAMPP, you will see Apache, PHP, and PHP MyAdmin, and the HT document. Okay, so basically HT document, you will see your first page, your index page, and over here's a configuration file for PHP MyAdmin, and this one is the PHP configuration file, and this one is the Apache configuration file. So every single configuration file is under XAMPP, this folder. If you install Apache, MySql, PHP, and PHP MyAdmin directly, okay, so here is the path. So we normally install Apache under C drive, and install PHP under C drive. And under the C drive, if you want to install the PHP MyAdmin, then you have to put PHP MyAdmin into HT document, this folder, HTDOCS, this folder. Okay, and this folder is under Apache. All right, so you have to put your PHP MyAdmin into this folder, and this is the configuration file for PHP MyAdmin. And index homepage in a documentation root. So this is our homepage for the documentation root, and this is the MySql configuration file. Okay, you can also find the MySql. You can also have a MySql configuration file under the SAMP, but I personally don't want to modify anything under SAMP because I personally don't use SAMP. I personally install everything directly without the SAMP. Okay, so that is pretty much everything. Okay, what to learn? Again, it is quite difficult to install Apache, MySql, PHP, and MySql Workbench, PHP MyAdmin individually. These are the software that are pretty important. Okay, so there are many bundle tools that can help you to install Apache, MySql, PHP by clicking next with the default setting. The disadvantage of bundle tool is that you cannot choose the version of Apache, MySQL, PHP, and PHP-MyAdmin. Whatever the bundle tool gives to you, then you have to stick with the specific version of the Apache, MySQL, PHP, and PHP-MyAdmin, because we don't really know what the bundle tool has done by default setting. You should not update individual version of each component inside the bundles. You should just uninstall the whole bundles and install a new version of bundles. Okay, so the advantage of installing Apache, MySQL, PHP, MySQL Workbench, PHP-MyAdmin individually is that you can choose the versions of the Apache. Let me say again, you can choose the version for each component. Okay, so you can install like this version Apache, that version MySQL, this version PHP, that version MySQL Workbench. You can install, you can choose the version you want for each individual item, and you can also update individual version of each component. So in the real world, we always install each component individually. Okay, we don't normally use bundle in the real world. We just install everything individually in the real world. So firstly, I will suggest you can learn how to install local, because local will help you to install Apache, MySQL, PHP, and also the WordPress. In order to get the basic idea what we need for WordPress, afterward, please uninstall the local. So basically, install the local to let you have a basic idea, and then uninstall it afterwards. Okay. Secondly, I will suggest you to learn how to install XAMPP in the MySQL Workbench, because XAMPP doesn't have the MySQL Workbench. So I will tell you, okay, after you install XAMPP, how to install the MySQL Workbench. So in this case, you will be able to get the basic idea what we need to do with Apache, MySQL, and PHP. But after that, I also suggest you uninstall XAMPP. Okay, the reason to install XAMPP is to let you understand what is going on between Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Okay. Thirdly, I suggest you to install Apache, MySQL, PHP, Workbench, PHP-MyAdmin individually. If you really have a strong background from other computer language, like for example me, I'm a .NET developer. Okay, so I have a strong background for the .NET, like C#, Link, MVC, ASP.NET, that kind of things. I have a very strong background. So basically, in this case, you can see this tutorial directly. Okay, you don't have to see these two. All right. So basically, in tutorial 31, I just introduced what's going on in the PHP environment. And tutorial 32, I will install local. Tutorial 33, I will install XAMPP and the MySQL Workbench. In tutorial 34, I will install Apache, PHP, MySQL individually, okay, without any bundles. So basically, if you have a very strong background, you can straight away to learn the tutorial 34. You can skip 32 and 33. Okay, but if you don't have a strong background, I strongly suggest you to follow the 32 and 33. You won't be able to. Well, in this case, you can smoothly to learn what's going on. All right. So in the tutorial 35, I will tell you how to install WordPress. Tutorial 36, I will tell you how to install the Laravel. And 37, we'll talk about the Visual Studio Code. And so basically, the sequence might be changed. I mean, tutorial sequence might be changed, but this is my plan. So if you have a very strong background, you can skip 32, 34, go straight to 32, 33. You can go straight to 34. But if you don't have a strong background, follow the 32 and 33 and 34. Okay, don't skip it. So that's pretty much all. Okay, I hope you enjoy my tutorial. Have a good day.